On to Virginia. We have been in BRAC mode on the Kojo Nnamdi show all month long, but this is something that's been taking up a lot of the time of our guest for a whole lot longer than that. Our guest, Jim Moran. He's a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. He's a Democrat from Virginia. Congressman Moran, thank you so much for joining us.
It's always nice to be with you, Kojo, and thank you for putting the focus you have on the BRAC issue.
Yes, we are doing Virginia this coming Monday, but since we have the Congressman in the studio now, we'll look at what he's been doing. It's my understanding that the piece of it that you've been fighting, the relocation of thousands of jobs to the Mark Center, was not even a part of the original process. At what point in the game did that come up, and what are your priorities at this point in the process?
Well, I heard Mr. Principi say that on Monday, that it wasn't part of BRAC. He's mistaken. And this is part of the problem of not looking at the long-term ramifications. I'll give you a little history. In 2005, both Congressman Tom Davis and I strongly opposed the BRAC move in Northern Virginia. Didn't make any sense. You were taking 20,000 people, which is the equivalent of four major military bases, out of Arlington and Alexandria, which is inside the Beltway, all of which was metro accessible, and moving those folks to places that were not accessible to public transportation at Fort Belvoir in southeast Fairfax County. They did it anyway, against our objection. We voted against it, spoke against it, we lost. Then we put language into the Defense Authorization Bill which urged them, if you're going to do this, at least locate these people at the Springfield-Franconia Metro Station. There's a large plot of land that the General Services Administration controls. It's basically warehouse, one floor, right at the metro station. So we transferred that to the Army so that the Army could build at that site. Then I had a report done by the Corps of Engineers which showed that people, once they got on the base at Fort Belvoir, had a 3 to 4 hour backup trying to actually get to work. Both the Engineer Proving Grounds, which is west on 395, and the traditional base itself. That it would cost almost $500 million, $466 million, just to provide the transportation improvements. The military, given that information, then decided, well, we're going to expand the definition of Fort Belvoir. So it needs to be at the metro site, at the GSA site at Springfield-Franconia. They offered put out a bid. Once you put out a bid, we can't get involved for legal purposes. We can't influence one bidder over another. They decided they can't locate it at the metro station in Springfield because it was going to take too long to move the GSA-related activity. So then we thought, well, they'll move to Eisenhower Avenue, what's called the Liberty Center. It's Victory Center. It was an Army Materiel Command location, and it was perfect, set back from the street and so on. They didn't choose that site. I'm told what happened when the people that controlled that site thought they had a lock on it. They raised the bid by a couple $100 million. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what I'm told, and makes some sense. So then they chose to locate it at Mark Center.
Correct.
The Mark Center site has no access to public transportation. It's on 395. The intersections around this building, and it's a mammoth building. If you ever get outside D.C. or Sherwood does, you can't miss. Thank you.
That's
so
one of the
is
reasons
it not a massive
it casts a terrible shadow. It's one reason to turn around and come back to the civilization.
Oh, geez. Anyway, so the intersections around that area are almost at failing level.
Seminary Road, is that what
Seminary Road and 395. So then we had studies done, and the state concluded if you move the 6,400 Washington headquarters service people that the Army decided needed to be split up, then it will create failing level of service at all of the intersections that matter. So, and beyond that, you've got 200,000 commuters, Kojo, going by that location every morning and evening.